And viewers are getting some updates coming in, and we're learning that former West Bengal Chief Minister Buddhadeb Bhattacharjee has passed away at the age of 80. This is coming in, viewers, as we are tracking updates. We are still waiting to connect to our Republic Bangla newsroom for more details. But unfortunate news coming in that Buddhadeb Bhattacharjee passing away at age 80. Buddhadeb Bhattacharjee was the second and last CPM Chief Minister who was in office from year 2000 to 2011 for 11 consecutive years in West Bengal. He was 80 years of age, and the details that we have is that he has passed away. We're still waiting to connect to a Republic Bangla newsroom for more information. Let's go straight across to our Senior Executive Editor, Abhishek Kapoor, who's joining us. Abhishek, just getting this unfortunate news coming in that Buddhadeb Bhattacharjee is no more.
Well, yes, for long, the Bengal Chief Minister, he took over the baton from Jyoti Basu, and he was 80 years old, ailing for a while, and he had multiple hospitalizations. We would keep hearing about those off and on, and obviously because of health reasons, the veteran communist leader was inactive. He was seen as someone who had sort of softened the edges of the Communist Party, the CPM in Bengal during his period in power between 2000 and 2011, and when he was Chief Minister of Bengal. And then, of course, since then we have had the rule of Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool Congress. In fact, Mamata rose in Bengal politics against some of the policies of industrialization that Buddhadeb Bhattacharjee was bringing as part of his larger reform of the communist setup within his domain in Bengal. Industrialization, for example, being one of them. And Mamata, of course, opposed those projects, the one in Singur being one example. So I think this is, in a way, end of an era, as we say in politics. Jyoti Basu had characterized a certain form of communist hegemony in Bengal, and Buddhadeb Bhattacharjee was, in his 11 years at the helm, seen to be sort of softening those edges of the communist rule in Bengal, where there was a vice-like grip of the Communist Party on every arm, every institution, and every aspect of society in Bengal. Buddhadeb Bhattacharjee was seen as someone from the Bhadralok, as it is in Bengal, and as I'm mentioning, he was seen as someone who was bringing in certain who was someone who was going against the core ideological position on industry, private industry, among others, for example, in Bengal. But ailing for a while, 80 years old, he has passed away in his South Kolkata residence, is what we are getting to hear. We'll connect in a bit with our Kolkata newsroom for more information. Reports suggest that he had contracted pneumonia and was on a life support system, and he survived, of course, by his wife and other family members. And it's obviously, so far as the communist movement in India is concerned, the communists would see it as end of an era and passing away of one of their veterans, one of their topmost leaders in the country.
Right. Abhishek Kapoor is getting us these details. And Abhishek, we're getting some more information coming in. We are learning that he was suffering from old age-related ailments, and we'll be connecting very soon to a Republic Bangla newsroom, because Buddhadeb Bhattacharjee was a tall figure, Abhishek, in the West Bengal political scene.
Yeah, for sure. He was a senior leader to the extent that Jyoti Basu passed on the baton to Buddhadeb Bhattacharjee. He was, of course, trained fully in the communist lexicon from early on in his political career, going back to the 1960s. He was, for example, supporter of the Vietnam cause. When the Vietnam War of the United States was going on, he was associated with various communist youth organizations, including the Democratic Youth Federation of India. And then, of course, his career that blossomed in the Communist Party of India, Marxist, since the 1970s. And, of course, he became effectively a senior leader when he was included in the state secretariat in the 1980s itself. A long period as a Bengal cabinet minister under Jyoti Basu since 1977. He couple of times lost assembly elections also, but later on, of course, stuck to Jadavpur and remained an MLA from 1987 onwards, and of course was, as I mentioned, a minister in the Jyoti Basu government, holding various departments, including, of course, the one which stuck to his name, which was, of course, the Cultural Affairs and the Information Department, and he was seen as someone very close to Jyoti Basu, effectively groomed by the former communist boss. And in 1996, in fact, the election of Bengal Assembly for the Communist Party, for the CPM, was essentially handled by Bhattacharjee. In fact, he at that time had also become the Home Minister under Jyoti Basu in Bengal. So that really gives you an idea of the kind of grooming that went on, of course, by and by. Subsequently, in 1999, he became the Deputy Chief Minister by the time that Jyoti Basu's health started failing him, ultimately leading to Basu stepping down in the year 2000. Also remember, mid-90s was the time when there was the possibility that in the United Front era, that Jyoti Basu could have become the Prime Minister. So obviously, Bhattacharjee was someone who was groomed in a manner that he would have taken on the baton from Jyoti Basu even then. But then, as it is said, the Communist Party believed that it was a historical blunder, that the Politburo decided that Jyoti Basu should not become the Prime Minister. And so he continued till, of course, 2000, when on health grounds, he made way for Bhattacharjee becoming the Chief Minister, which he continued to remain till 2011. And the mention of Singur and Nandigram as his legacies in terms of trying to turn around the communist lexicon on private industry and private capital, and to bring these bring the industrial groups to these places. Also, for example, what goes on as the entire Salt Lake complex and the IT hub in Kolkata. A lot of things go back to the time when Bhattacharjee was sort of tweaking around with the policies of Communist Party-led government in Bengal.
Right.
He was not the industrial minister, but he was the urban development minister, and he had a role to play, being part of the core of the communist think tank in Bengal. So in a way, obviously, since for the long period
right.
Of his association with the Communist Party, it's a great loss for the Communist Party in India, the CPM, that is. And overall, of course, the fact that he was Chief Minister of Bengal for 11
right.
years, and before that, the Information and Culture Minister, as I said, department which stuck with him in terms of his involvement with the Bengali Bhadlok and the cultural life there, and representing Jadavpur, where Jadavpur University is. Obviously, it's a loss for the Bengal politics.
Absolutely.